Hello again. I'm here with another book review. This one is for Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I read this in the month of November. This is one of my books I've just finished. And I'd give this a 4.5 stars. I'll tell you right now, this is one of my favorite books this month. Probably this and another book I'll mention later, another YA book. That actually are my favorite books so far I've read. But this one, um, it's a bit older book, so I'm sure a lot of reviews have already talked about this book. But it is a wonderful read. It has this great story, great world building in this, and it's about two sisters, Tella and Scarlet. Scarlet is a woman who, all through her childhood, has written this master legend to get into this Caraval, which is basically like a game that you can either participate in or watch that runs in different locations. And there was a big controversy with this Caraval where somebody got killed and they didn't think Caraval was going to keep going. And Scarlet never got invited. You need a special invite to get into this game. And her father is very abusive to both Tella and Scarlet. But Scarlet gets a chance to get married. She actually gets set up by her father to get married. And she thinks this is her way out of this abusive relationship. So just at the same time, she actually writes to Master Legend. That's the actual person who runs the Caraval. And says, okay, I'm getting married. So, we're not going to worry about Caraval anymore. And I appreciate it. But of course, right after she tells him she's getting married, she gets an invite. Her and her sister get invites to Caraval, which she doesn't want to go now. She says, well, I'm getting married. I don't want to go. And I never leave the island, and I don't want to mess up my wedding. It's only a couple of days away. I'm not going to go to this Caraval. Of course, they meet this sailor named Julian, and they wind up going to Caraval. Scarlet goes reluctantly to Caraval, and she winds up teaming up with Julian, and they start playing the game. And this world that you get into, like I said, this magical, mystical world, there's a lot of twists and turns. You find out that her grandmother was connected to this Master Legend. You wonder, is Master Legend evil? Is what's going on with the story? And again, it just flows so well that I love this world. This world is so well drawn. You really feel like you're completely into this world. It reminds me, I'm an older guy, so this kind of reminds me of a kind of like a fantasy island type of thing, except it's got a lot of twists and turns, almost kind of like an Alice in Wonderland kind of world, but like darker. If that's a good way to describe it. I don't consider it like a carnival, but it's more of kind of like a mystery. It's like a mystery game that you play over 5 days. And there's not much else I can say about this book except it's a really good book. If you were thinking about picking this up, I got this in one of my book clubs, and I'm so happy I got to read this because this is such a great book. I heard this is actually there's actually a multi-part story. It kind of ended to me. It kind of ended, but I could see there is kind of a cliffhanger. But I am kind of interested if she does do those more books in this world, how it's going to work. But in general, like I said, Caraval, great book. Really enjoyed it. Would highly recommend it. And that's pretty much my review. And thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you soon.